All yours now?
Yes, I can.
Okay,
Thank
good. I don't, what caused that?
Might be my phone.
Yeah, it looks like you're on there
It
twice.
looks like you're on with the computer and your phone.
All right, leave him.
You chose the wrong one.
Choose wisely.
Now you're muted.
His phone or computer?
I give up on just showing my
Well,
phone.
he has to do that, doesn't
Yeah, I can't do anything.
It's all right.
Oh, he's back.
No. Can you hear us? Give us a thumbs.
You're on mute.
he? Mute.
Okay. I think
There
I'm
you
in.
are. We can hear you now.
All right, thanks, Paul.
All right, sorry about that.
No problem. All right, Justin.
Yeah, so that, I mean, that was really it, the farm winery piece, I ended with that, and then when we get into new business, I can talk about the P O C D as well, because we're working on a plan for that. Because that's due June or July of 26. So, but that's the happenings.
I wonder if it was even legal, because I mean. Having somebody renew the business every 2 years, kind of.
Yeah, if you
Well, that
made
was,
a major investment, you go, no, we don't.
it makes, then that, yeah, and so that, well, that gets to the other point, is we regulate stuff like that, and then there's no way you could enforce that, like, I think if that went to court. That would
Yeah, I
be,
mean, it's crazy,
Yeah.
I spent a lot of money
I
fighting.
just spent $1 million building this and now you're not gonna renew my permit.
yeah, it just makes no sense, and so that's very indicative of kind of a lot of the nonsense we're trying to work through. Is there's a lot of stuff like that, not to that level, but there's a lot of stuff like that in the regulations. And it's like, it's just a matter of cleaning it up and making it easier for people to understand.
My only. Having been through a nightmare, when it comes to the animals, you have to have some regulation, because there are some people who just take advantage of it.
Sure, yeah,
I mean, I lived on a 3.5 acre lot where the neighbor had 3.5 acres. And at one point, they had 15 horses, they had goats, they had chickens, at one point, they're advertising, they had a zoo. Actually put a sign up, come to our, which of course was not legal, but it took years to straighten it out.
Mhm.
So you gotta have, there has to be some control, because some people don't, some people think it's my land, I should be able to do what I want, which I don't totally disagree with, but. You also have neighbors that wanna be able to do what they wanna do.
yeah, and I think that we've tried to proactively address stuff like that, which ends up sometimes working against you. Because there's, what we find, so like, and as an example, in the livestock regulations, so like swine is an example where we got really strict and had like enumerated things around pigs. Well, the state already regulates that, like there's an enforcement posture with the state specifically with pigs. So, and we find that in other areas too, where your example, like that would be illegal. And we don't even really need to comment on it because there's an enforcement mechanism.
Except that you can say that, it comes out of your mouth, but it's not like you can go over there in 5 minutes, the guy has to, it took years to straighten this out.
Yeah, but that's, unfortunately, that's kind of the system with everything, right? I mean, it doesn't happen overnight because everybody has due process, so.
Well, if they don't get, you have to have some controls, if you don't have any power and you have to go through the state, good luck.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're
Because
trying to do.
the state goes out there and the horses are being fed, so I guess it's okay.
Yeah,
I'm talking from experience, it's.
yeah, no, I get it, I
I
understand.
mean, there's people out there who just,
Yeah,
and these
Wanna have
people,
a suit.
these people were extreme, I think everybody who dealt with them knows they were extreme, but
Yeah.
yet. It happens unfortunately.
yeah, no, it does, and kind of. What we find too is that those are the same people who ignore the regulations regardless of what they are.
Yeah.
So, and I understand the enforcement piece of it makes it a little bit easier to enforce.
Yeah,
And we're not removing that, I mean, there's still minimums, there's still requirements.
I'm just saying be careful, that's all.
Yeah, no,
I haven't read it, it's probably fine, I'm just saying that's the. Unfortunately, there are some people who just. Take me to court kind of thing, and people don't, no one likes to do that anyways, because we all want people to do what they wanna do, kind of thing, it's part of,
Yeah, so it's, yeah, no, I understand. So, so right now, we have not, like I said, we didn't schedule a public hearing yet, so it's still in the discussion phase. the process will be when the commission decides, okay, yep, we wanna move these forward, we'll go to a public hearing, the public will weigh in, it'll be a kind of a somewhat drawn out process, and we'll have a final vote at some point, so this will evolve, but that's kind of where we are now.
Cool. Good work.
Our original interest in what you were doing had to do with open space. Are you dealing with subdivisions at all? Yeah.
Not right now, so it'll probably be more applicable to this group with the plan conservation and development. I think the next round of zoning revisions, they may involve subdivision stuff, but I mean, it's nothing that we've spent a lot of time talking about. So there's so many other things in there that need to be cleaned up at this point.
Now, are you looking at other towns as far as best practices to how you're improving the regs, or are you just working from the documents that the town created?
But both, so it's a balance, because what we found is that sometimes those that have written the regulations or proposed regulations have leaned too much on what other towns do. And they've kind of taken some bad ideas and carried them over. But you can do the same thing in the opposite way, like you get people in a room who haven't read anything and, they have a bunch of bad ideas. So it's kind of balancing it out with new ideas, like the setbacks are really kind of a new concept, the way that we're looking at them. Because so much of the regulations were formed in the 80s and 90s when you had this building boom around here and you had 100 acres with 100 houses. And that's just not the reality that we live in. So you now have these established lots that are falling under these regulations, and a lot of the stuff doesn't make sense. So we're trying to kind of approach it that way. With the ag stuff, we are looking at towns kind of who have the right to farm. And that's really what triggered a lot of this, because, you guys put the signs up and now we come in town and we have a right to farm, but we don't have zoning regulations that allow a lot of reasonable stuff. So towns like Woodstock or Lebanon, who really have a right to farm mentality, we've kind of looked at to see how they do stuff.
I don't know, Lebanon, I don't know if they still have, but they have a regulation where you couldn't put your back fence for your animals had to be 25 feet from your property line.
Yeah, I don't know if that's.
Which might be okay for Lebanon when you have huge farms, but like, for me, my lot's 200 feet wide, I got 4 acres.
Yeah.
But if I had to pull it in 25 feet, and this, all of a sudden you don't have much room for your horse or your cows or whatever.
Yeah, that's an example of something that we would not be for. So, and that's the contradiction of it all. It's like,
That's
right.
the other side of what I'm talking about.
Exactly, and we kind of live in both worlds right now, so like if you build a shelter, a lean-to for a couple horses or something, it has to be 75 feet from a property line. But you can put your fence on the property line, you can spread manure up to the property line, and you would never tell a farmer not to do that. So so there's a lot of stuff that's just schizophrenic, it makes no sense
I wonder
whatsoever.
if that's so you can run a tractor brush hog on the other side of the fence without being on your neighbor's property.
For what now?
So if you have a giant farm.
Yeah.
And your fence is 25 feet in.
Yeah.
Your tractor and brush
Oh,
hog
yeah.
could go on the
Right,
other side of the fence and keep it under control.
yeah, you could mow on that side.
Without mowing on your neighbors,
Yeah,
driving on.
I have no idea what the reasoning was, but I remember trying to lay out lots and it was pain in the butt.
yeah, that stuff doesn't make sense.
Anyway,
Okay. All right. Mark and Rob are on Pine Street parking.
Yeah, I'll take it. I see the word state in there, which is interesting.
or what?
The word, you go Pine Street parking, the church, it says state of butters in town. Is that something new? The state be involved?
I don't see that.
In the next, last month, I think you did,
The minutes from last month says we're working on it in between the state of butters and town. And that's just something someone.
well, we had talked several times about bringing way to the state in on this.
Right, well, so that hasn't happened.
Okay, that's all I was making sure. I'm not saying sure or shouldn't, I'm just,
Has anything happened?
No, I've been trying to keep parents from killing each other. They're very fast moving.
Yeah, big controversy in town.
Well,
that's
now
good.
we just got threatened, they're gonna send a gang down
Really?
to fix things.
Who wants to be?
Really?
Yeah, this is blowing up, and this is insane.
Yeah, it's so stupid, like all around.
It's,
Embarrassing.
we're entering a new world of insanity in
It was
children's schools.
stupid from what I can see in the picture, everybody was being stupid.
They-
Oh, yeah, all around, parents,
I'm
coaches,
so glad I don't have a young kid
actually,
doing
unfortunately,
sports. 'cause I used to
our
be involved
coach,
in
our coaches were trying to keep it and at reasonableness and the parents just brought it to the.
You gotta, I mean, I saw the news, this guy has, the guy coaching for Wyndham has a bad background.
Right.
So that doesn't help, cause like you're supposed to check into that stuff. But
Anyway,
Well,
we will get to that.
okay. All right, Salmon River one is not here, so I guess we're, nothing on Salmon River. How about Hop River? You know, I have a question, there was. In the budget that was approved and then modified, the federal budget. There was $3 million. As one of those, what do they call them? They get tossed in at the last minute, you know, into budgets, but for Hop River, do you know if that's still there?
That's,
that's the bridge.
that's the piece there from Kings Road and Flanders.
Behind Moose, behind Moose, main Moose, it's the walking bridge. And working on the trail.
But this was money that was authorized.
Yeah,
No, it's
that-
authorized since I
Yes,
became town administrator.
that money is targeted for the replacement of the bridge behind the main moose and the fixing of that.
They just won't pull the switch.
Well, it's like
They
everything.
have it all designed, planned.
Really?
They're waiting for the money, which seems to be there now.
So the last I heard, it was tied up in permitting,
Oh, shocking.
so.
And we'll do well with the.
But anyway, so the most recent update I had was that it should all be done with around the end of 2026, so 2 years out. With the new bridge, single span bridge and all that.
They could celebrate it with our 250th anniversary.
Exactly. It took us 250 years to get this.
That's kind of quickly the farmers would have built a bridge.
Could add on a week.
I know.
Well, no, it's the bridge, then even that one that fell in, where was it, Maryland or Pennsylvania, I forget where, it's Pennsylvania, right? They had that up and running in a couple of weeks. And when it fell down, they made adjustments.
Baltimore.
Was it Baltimore?
No, the one before that, the one that collapsed like this.
Onto this cargo ship.
Yeah, not the
No,
ship.
not the cargo ship, the one that there was a fire, the
Oh, the tanker.
tanker
Burning.
burning and destroyed the, whatever. I mean, it can be done.
Yeah, they really did. They whipped that thing back together.
So two quick updates for the Airline Trail and Hop River Trail. So we have the Hop River Trail Alliance, which is the organization working on improving the whole thing. And they had the signage project, so all the signs have been replaced and they're switching from gates to the bollards along the way there. And then there's gonna be an event May 17th, which is the Ride the East event. Last year, the event stopped at Malo Pond State Park. This year it's gonna be from Willimantic to Manchester, stopping at different historic sites along the way. And one of them will be the Hop River Preserve.
So it's from Wyndham to Manchester?
Yep. It's gonna be different links, so that's just out and back, so depending on who wants to do what, they can just go as far as Andover, turn around, go all the way to Manchester, turn around. Andover's museum, which is right at the Wall Street there, 316, that's gonna be open. The Railroad Museum is gonna be tied into the, so kind of like the history of the rail and what was going on along the rail trail. And then the Airline Trail Alliance. The plan is to create something similar to the Hop River Trail Alliance. Create another nonprofit, which will be the Hop River State Park Trail Alliance. And so that will then be able to apply for grants for improvements along the trail.
And where is the Hop River State Park?
So that Hop River,
I think you misspoke, I think you meant airline.
Airline? Okay, so Airline State Park Trail Alliance.
For the whole trail, the linear trail.
Yeah, the 12 towns between Rhode Island and Portland.
Anyone done the Portland section? I haven't been to that.
I have not been
It
out.
goes from East Hampton to Portland. I know I was there I went the other way, and then,
I know they've done a lot of work in the past couple of years between East Hampton and Portland. And the goal, long-term goal is to cross the river in Middletown and then connect over to Cheshire, but it'll have different names, whatever the trails are over that way.
but there was some kind of, apparently that bridge is still used. So I don't know if we can actually put bikes on it, if there's still trains using it.
But so they just put Putnam Bridge now has a bike walking path
Well,
on it.
Little East Hampton Swing Bridge is now gonna have a sidewalk.
Yeah, so who knows what they'll do.
This, and it,
No, never know.
I don't think they've opened it to pedestrian traffic yet. But it's almost there.
Friends of,
We're just ready to put our kiosk up at the Pine Street lot. We've got it built, we're ready to. We have our new updated maps going. So we're waiting on the same as open space. We're waiting on the updates from MBA and TPL. So nothing really new going on with Friends at this point.
anybody have anything on?
How about we get Route 66 mark, so bit on that.
Yeah, we just got the okay from DOT to buy Mary Schott's property officially. So, the lawyers are talking now to set up a closing.
Looks like the pond's frozen, you could go ice skating.
Right.
If you do it before it gets warm again.
Yeah, so that's a go. We just have to, how we get that.
Do you have to do
parking lot
anything for the state? I mean, did you have to do?
Yeah, we had to create a whole plan for the access road to that parking lot and the guardrail modifications and. So now you figure what it costs to build that little lot.
So is that something coming up or?
I'll put it in the budget. I don't have budget yet.
We can, it's probably been eaten up by getting all those orange rocks out of town.
I haven't driven down to see how many there are.
There's a
There are a
lot.
lot. Hunt Road, had a lot.
Hot Road, Pine Street,
I think,
Doubleday Road.
I think they're sick of the flail mode,
Wells Road.
thinking you're going through nice grass and then wham, you hit a rock. I
Mhm.
think
Well,
this
it
is
makes,
like,
it makes
all right, we're
sense.
done. We gotta get
Stumps
those
too, they have
guys.
stumps too, I mean, there's
Stumps.
rocks and stumps.
They did a couple.
I saw,
On
first year it's like a big talk in town here.
So what, everybody's calling me up the next day, what the hell is?
What's going on? It's orange paint, it's ugly.
Oh, no, it's beautification.
Yeah,
So
we
I
passed
think that's our winter work.
Well, they were out yesterday on Hunt Road with the backhoe. They can.
Oh, yeah, okay, I hadn't seen them start yet, it's good.
That'll be easy to
Well, we're
follow
just-
if it's a nice sweat. You're not,
It must be a pain, you're doing
oh,
that.
can you imagine
Because
hearing
they're all over.
everything hitting?
Because my other question, I keep, every so I see a rock, why didn't they paint that one?
Well, then it breaks the arm and fixing that film, very expensive.
Yeah. It's probably cheaper to do that than replace it.
Right.
That's your justification anyways, when you ask.
All right, anything on trails?
At this point, I think everything's in pretty good shape. We had a lot of trees, small trees and things down with all the wind and stuff we've had the past couple of months, but most of that's been cleaned up.
All right, back to you.
Yeah, so the POCD is up for renewal June, July 2026. So right now, we're looking at a process to have it, basically the draft on the first quarter of 26. So we will be going through it as a commission during our regular meetings, but we're also talking about an ad hoc subcommittee, where we will get all of the other boards and commissions involved. So open space, LMAC, and Board of Selectmen, everybody else who has a part in it, so that they have the opportunity to review it with us. It's a very detailed, good document. So we're not starting from scratch, so we're not hiring a third party or anything, we're just gonna do it ourselves in conjunction with the town planner. And we're planning on hitting that soon, so we have plenty of time. So we've created a preliminary plan to go through it and then include everybody. That's kind of essentially where we're at. So,
Okay,
Do you know if you've been able to find the source documents for all the maps that are in there?
we haven't got to that point yet. No. And I don't know.
It's on Paul's hard drive.
Well, no, I was wondering, we were looking for some maps a while ago and John was having trouble finding since Paul left.
Yeah.
That's the problem when you don't have a really good file structure, storage system.
I'm assuming she did, it's just a matter of,
Well, hopefully not, we're on her hard drive, old computer there.
Yeah, you never know, 'cause there's a lot of stuff in there.
Right. We try to get all employees to use our S drive, all their storage. Nah. They're hard to have their computer.
Anybody have anything, this is Ann's bailiwick, but anybody have anything on education initiatives, land conservation, or forest and wildlife management? I think that's what she was gonna talk about. Anything?
Didn't I see something? There was some training coming up. What was it?
No.
I don't know, I'm sure Ann was going to.
Didn't see it. No.
I'll make sure if something hits, we'll get it out to the committee, anybody interested. Usually, as winners. Heading towards spring, there's all these different organizations that get together.
Can we go into executive session just for a few minutes and discuss
Can.
what we've already discussed?
We're going in at 9:29, and I'm stopping the recording.
You want me to close the door?
Yeah. Are you sure you want to stop recording the